Hello students, we are here to start with chapter 12 friction. In your previous chapter, you have already learnt what is friction. Friction is the force which always opposes the motion of any object when it moves over another object. You can consider the following situations. Whenever you have to stop your vehicle at signals, what you used to do? You used to apply the brakes. And even when you ride your bicycle and you have to stop, again what you will do? Yes, you will apply the brakes of the bicycle. And when you apply the brakes, the vehicle or bicycle, it first slows down and then it gets stopped. Not only this, any object moving over the surface of another object, it will slows down after some time when no external forces applied on it and it finally gets stopped. Now why this happens? Students, it is due to the force of friction, which acts on moving object from the opposite direction of its direction of motion. You will get it more clear by activity 12.1. What you have to do, you have to place a book on the table. Then give gentle push to the book. It will move towards the right side and then it will stop. As it is getting stopped, it means that force of friction is acting on it in the opposite direction, that is towards the left, opposing its motion and making it stop. So we can say when object moves, means the motion was in the right side direction, the friction was acting on it from the left side, towards the left side. Now just give a gentle push, change the situation, push the book from the left side, means push it towards the left side, and you will find that motion of the book is towards the left side and then again it will get stopped. So here what we can say, again it is stopping, means force of friction is acting on it and it is acting from the opposite direction. So towards the right, this time it is towards the right, which is opposing its motion. So when we apply the force towards the left, force of friction acts towards the right side and stop the, means it opposes the motion and stops the book. So from this activity we can conclude that force of friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction of motion of an object. Always remember this, student, that force of friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction of motion of an object. Next, now let's learn what is responsible for this friction to arise. Okay, means what causes friction. Students, whenever you will observe the surface of any object, it may appear to be smooth to the naked eye. But when you will observe it through microscope, you will find that the surfaces of all objects have rough edges. It is called as irregularities of surfaces. And when we try to move one object over the another object, these irregularities of the two surfaces get interlocked with each other. What I am saying over here, students, जब भी आप किसी object को observe करोगे, you will say that नहीं, the object is smooth है. But when you will observe the same under microscope, जब आप microscope के इसमें देखेंगे हाई पावर में, you will find कि वो smooth नहीं है. It has some rough surfaces, that is known as irregularities, okay, of the surfaces. And when जब हम एक ऑब्जेक्ट को दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट के, मीन्स दूसरे सरफेस पे मूव कराते हैं, these irregularities get locked with each other. दोनों irregularities, दोनों surfaces के irregularities, it gets locked with each other, and it is this interlocking of irregularities of two surfaces which opposes the motion of one object over the other and gives rise to force of friction. So we can say that the friction is caused by the interlocking of irregularities in the surfaces of the two objects which are in contact with each other. Remember this. Now, before starting the next topic, let me first tell you about spring balance. What is a spring balance? Spring balance is a device which is used for measuring force acting on an object. हम किसी ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर कितना फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, दैट वी कैन मेजर बाय द हेल्प ऑफ स्प्रिंग बैलेंस. How it is going to work? See, the spring balance is it contains a coiled spring which gets stretched when a force applied to its hook end. The end in which hook is present, it gets stretched whenever you will hang any of the weight or object in that hook. Okay, so the extent by which the spring gets stretched, जितना वो spring stretch होगा, is a measure of the force applied. उतना force हम उसमें लगा रहे हैं, and this you will know by the reading on the scale of spring balance. So that reading will gives us the information about the magnitude of force, means how much force we are applying on that object. So why we have learned about spring balance, as we are going to make use of spring balance in our next subtopic, factors affecting friction. Now we are going to learn, we have learned what is friction, then what causes friction. Now what are the factors which are going to affect the friction? So there are two factors which are going to affect the force of friction, whether friction will be larger or smaller. The first factor is the nature of the two surfaces. Nature of the two surfaces means whether the surface is smooth or rough. It is going to affect the friction. And second factor is the force with which two surfaces are pressed together. मीन्स दो ऑब्जेक्ट्स, एक ऑब्जेक्ट और दूसरा जिस ऑब्जेक्ट के दोनों सरफेसेस में कितना हार्डली दोनों प्रेस्ड है, इट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू इफेक्ट द फ्रिक्शन. लेट्स डिस्कस इट वन बाय वन. द फर्स्ट वन इज how the nature of surface or nature of the two surfaces is going to affect the force of friction. Okay, so we are saying that friction depends on the nature of surfaces. Nature means the smoothness or roughness of the two surfaces which are in contact with each other. So students, just now I told you it is the irregularities which is going to give rise to friction. So when two surfaces in contact are smooth, means ज्यादा रफ नहीं है, ज्यादा irregularities नहीं है, तभी हम उस surface को smooth कहते हैं. Then the friction between them will be small, क्योंकि interlocking will be less, and thus the surface, as the surface is smooth, interlocking will be less, and interlocking will be less, so less friction. And if the roughness of the two surfaces is more, okay, roughness is more between the two surfaces in contact, then friction will also be large. Friction will increase as the irregularities of both surfaces will strongly interlock with each other. You can get it clear by activity 12.2. What you have to do, you have to take a brick and put it on a floor. First tie a string around the brick and just hang the hook of your spring balance. I told you about a spring balance. Now try to pull it with the help of a spring balance. Apply some force and just pull it, and once the brick started moving, it will just slide. Just note down the reading of the spring balance, how much force you applied, and at how much reading the brick started moving. Okay, now what you have to do, note down the reading. After then, wrap a piece of polythene around the brick and again repeat the activity, means with the help of a spring balance again try to pull it and again write down the reading. What you will find, that the force of friction has decreased as the spring balance reading is smaller than the first reading of a spring balance. When we, means without any polythene cover, we pulled the brick. Okay, again try one more, that now wrap this brick with jute cloth. Okay, and again try to pull it with spring balance. You will find that this time the spring balance is showing you the greater reading. Means what we can conclude over here, with the polythene the reading was less, with the jute cloth the reading was more in the polythene as compared to the when it was simply moving in the floor. Okay, so from this we can conclude that friction depends on the two surfaces. By polythene, when we wrap the polythene, we make the surface smooth, so friction was less. Reading was less. And by wrapping the brick with jute, we made the surface rough and the reading was more. Now there is another activity for the same, activity 12.3. In this, what you have to make an inclined plane. Inclined means as a tirsha. With the help of a wooden board, you have to make you have to set that board as a tilted position with the help of a brick, and mark a point AB there, and drop a pencil cell. Pencil cell is cylindrical, so it will roll down. Okay, and mark and cover whatever distance it will cover over there. Just measure that distance and note it down. The reading of this distance will give us an idea about the friction between the floor and the pencil cell. Okay, now what you have to do, just spread a piece of cloth on the floor. First reading you already noted down. Okay, then in second situation, what you have to do is spread a piece of cloth and again roll down that pencil cell from the same mark, one point on the board, and again note down the reading when it will get stop. Okay, whatever distance it covers. And again now change the situation, spread a slight layer of sand and again drop the pencil cell over there. Okay, and again note down the reading. Now what you say, what you will find, what do you think you are going to find over here? When there was nothing, simply in the floor you drop this pencil cell, it covers more distance. When you spread a piece of cloth, it covers comparatively less, and when you spread the layer of sand, further the distance covered was decreased. And this tells us that the surface, more smooth the surface will be there, friction will be less, and more rough you are going to make the surface, means more irregularities, obviously it will increases the friction. So by these or both the activities we can conclude that friction depends on the nature, that is the smoothness or roughness of the two surfaces. The second factor which affects the friction is how harder the two surfaces are pressed together. So as I told you, friction is caused by the interlocking of irregularities of the two surfaces when one object is placed over the another object. So if two surfaces of the objects are pressed together harder by a greater force, then the friction will increase. You can understand it in a better way by the activity. What you have to do in this activity, you have to take two boxes of same size, but one box is light in weight and the other box will be heavy. Now push both the boxes on the floor one by one, and you will find you have to apply small force to make the lighter box to move on the floor, but you have to make apply a larger force to make a move on the heavy box, to make a move of the heavy box. What does it tells? If the box is lighter, light box presses on the floor with less force, and hence the friction was less, so easily you able to move it. Whereas if the box is heavier and weight is heavy, so it will press on the floor with a greater force, and that's why you have to apply more force on it to make it move, as the friction was more between the surface of the box and the floor. So by this activity we can conclude that the friction between two surfaces depends on the force with which the two surfaces are pressed together. So here I am stopping over here. Okay, we will continue in our next